Speaking of Chicago, we have an exclusive investigation tonight into that city. Some parts of it are essentially war zones right now, as you know. Nearly 3,000 people have been shot in Chicago so far this year. Almost 500 are dead. These levels of violence are matched by third world-style governance, too. Police officers in Chicago are worried that one judge there may be helping criminals get away with murder. We asked Fox News' Matt Finn to investigate.
A brazen 2011 quadruple homicide caught on tape. 4 men walk into a convenience store on Chicago's South Side and open fire. A bloodbath killing 4 people, including one of the suspects. A Chicago law enforcement source tells Fox News, in addition to this shocking video, there was, quote, more than enough physical, biological, and firearms evidence to convict the suspects. Yet all 3 were found not guilty. In her ruling, Judge Carol Howard wrote that the tape did not definitively ID any of the suspects, and that there was no DNA evidence linking the defendants to the crime scene. We spoke to Rod Drabinski, a former Chicago area prosecutor. He had the opportunity to speak to law enforcement officials involved with this trial.
There was gunshot residue, other aspects of DNA evidence that were pulled off from the crime scene. When Judge Howard made her ruling, she did it in writing, and most of those aspects were either explained away in a rather unusual way or not mentioned at all.
In a statement to Fox News, Michael Clancy, an attorney for one of the defendants in that video, wrote that any judge would have agreed with Howard, writing in part, "There was no physical evidence linking Eric to the scene. The store video showed masked offenders that did not even suggest Eric. There is no way Judge Howard or any judge could find him guilty based on those facts." This decision from Howard, however, is not an outlier. Multiple sources tell us that Judge Howard is known for being lenient, and prosecutors came up with the nickname Set Them Free 203 in honor of her courtroom, room 203. Judge Howard did not respond to Fox News' multiple requests for comment. Police sources pointed us to another case for an example of Howard's questionable decision-making, a 2014 shooting of a Chicago police officer. According to police, James Garland confessed to firing a shot when police officer Thomas Derwin knocked and then forcibly entered a house to execute a search warrant. Just 1 shot was fired during that police raid. Garland admitted, quote, "It is my fault," and gunshot residue was found on him. However, Judge Howard found Garland not guilty. She granted the defense's motion to suppress parts of Garland's confession. The defense claimed Garland did not receive his Miranda rights, although the police report notes Garland was read them. Howard's judgment has even been criticized before on the record by the local DA's office. In 2017, she acquitted a man she earlier found guilty of murder and arson charges. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office wrote, quote, "We are disturbed by the court's decision."
It's pretty apparent that Judge Howard has a pro-defense slant. You know, we have a lot of violence on the streets, and the fact that we have defendants being found not guilty where there's a volume of evidence against them is concerning.
Tucker, we know that judges typically do not speak publicly about their rulings, but for more than 6 months we submitted requests to Judge Howard to talk to us about these cases, and perhaps if she agreed, she could have shed some light on her rulings. And we are not just singling out Judge Howard. There are similar judges and district attorneys here in Chicago and across this country that are allegedly soft on criminals and hard on the state. In fact, the district attorney that was just elected in Boston, Suffolk County, has an extensive list of crimes she plans not to prosecute, including shoplifting and drug possession with intent to distribute. Tucker.
Yeah. Probably not going to make the crime rate go down. Matt, thanks for that report. Were you able to talk to prosecutors?
You know, I reached out to 2 prosecutors in that quadruple homicide. I got one of them on the phone. It sounded like he wanted to talk to us, but he ended up not commenting, Tucker.
Yeah, everyone's afraid. Matt Finn, thanks very much for that.